Hey, what's that yellow wrench mean? Well, I guess it's time to change the oil in the 124 for the first time.
Hey, welcome back Fiat fans. So I want you guys to be comfortable in maintaining your car because it's not that hard and it's rewarding and you can save a little bit of money too. So with that in mind, I'm going to walk you through step by step changing the oil in your 124 Spider. So the first thing you have to do is get the oil out of the car. Now you can do this without ever having to get underneath the car by using an oil extractor, and you can check out one of my other videos where I'm demonstrating the oil extractor techniques. But today we're going to be draining the oil from the bottom. Now one of the safest ways to lift the car to get underneath it is by using ramps. If you have a sloping driveway like mine, face your car downhill so that whenever you pull up onto the ramps, the car will be mostly level. Now having the car level helps draining the oil, but if you can't get it exactly level, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Once you have your ramps lined up to the wheels, gently pull up to the top and then carefully let the car roll forward onto the stops. If you have a big piece of cardboard, throw that down under the car. That makes it a lot easier maneuvering around underneath there. And it's just a lot more comfortable than bare concrete. Now in order to get to the drain plug, you're going to have to remove the splash pan, which is held on by 9 greenish bolts. Now you can remove the bolts in any order you want, but leave these 2 bolts for last, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now having one of these electric ratchets makes quick work of all these bolts. Check out my review of both this one and the brushless version, links to everything down below. Now when you get to this bolt, only take it out halfway. You can see that there's a slot in the pan, and whenever you take the bolt out on the corresponding side, the pan will just hang down from that one suspended bolt, and then you can just slide the pan off easily with one hand. Now you can finally get to the drain plug. Get your oil drain pan in position and take a 13mm wrench and loosen your drain plug. Now if you're careful, you can take the drain plug out without getting a whole bunch of oil everywhere. But of course it helps to remove the plug from your oil drain pan. And remember kids, oil can be very hot and burn you. But don't worry, if you're already dead inside, you won't feel a thing. It'll take a few minutes for all the oil to drain out, and I like to make use of this time by just relaxing and thinking about all the fun drives I've had. Once the oil flowing out is barely a trickle, inspect the seal on your drain plug. As long as it isn't damaged, go ahead and screw it back in. I recommend tightening your drain plug with your non-dominant hand. It's only supposed to be tightened to 19 foot-pounds, so don't give it too much. Now you can hang the splash pan up on that bolt that's still there. And use the bolt on the opposite side to secure it in place. To prevent cross-threading, start all the bolts by hand first, before getting after it with power tools. And now you're done under the car. So here's what everyone bitches and moans about. Your filter is located in this canister buried under all these hoses, but it's actually pretty easy to get out with a couple of tricks. First, loosen the hose clamp on the intake coming out of the airbox and just kind of move it out of the way. This will give you more room to work on the left side. Now remove the 2 nuts holding the coolant reservoir in place and lift it off as studs. This gives you a tons more room to work on the right side. Before you start to make a mess, go ahead and shove a rag down in there around the filter canister. It's a good idea to have some rags up top as well. Now take a 27mm socket on a long extension and unscrew the filter housing. It should come off pretty easily. Now you can lift the filter cap out of the housing. And another thing that I do a little different is I like to take the filter out of the cap before trying to pull everything out. It just makes wrangling things out of there easier. Now this is the original factory oil filter, so it's worth taking a look at. It seems to be a pretty dense little unit. Now you can pull the cap out of its hole too. Grab a screwdriver or pick and gently pull off the O-ring from the filter cap. There'll be a new one in the box with the filter. Now I really like these Napa Gold filters. They're really good value for the price. And of course you can pick them up from bookautoworks.com, cheaper than you can even get them from Napa. If you're curious who actually makes these, they're made by Man Hummel, which is a pretty reputable filter maker. Well, somehow I lost all my footage of putting everything back together. Thanks GoPro. But it's not really a big deal. To quote the manual, installation is reverse of removal. The only thing I'll caution you on is to not over tighten your oil filter cap. You just kind of screw it in until it bottoms out and then don't go any tighter. Now as you can see here, I'm using AMSOIL European Blend Full Saps 5W40. Now personally I think this is the absolute best oil you can use in this engine, but I know everyone has their own favorite flavor, so I won't argue it with you. Just let me know down in the comments below what your favorite oil to use is. And yes, I'm using a funnel because I'm not as cool as Raymond. So it should only take 4 quarts, but don't be surprised if after you've run it a little bit, it requires another half a quart. So have an extra quart just in case. Alright, it's been 4 quarts. Let's see where she's at. And right on the money. Well, I hope this has given you the confidence to do it yourself. It is pretty satisfying when you're able to take care of maintenance on your own. And remember, there's links for everything you need down below in the description. And hey, hit that subscribe button if you aren't already, and give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Oh, almost forgetting, there's one more thing.
All right, so now that we have all that done, we need to reset that maintenance warning light. So first you gotta do is hit the power button twice without having the brake or clutch pressed in to turn the car on. And then you slowly press the accelerator pedal down 3 times. And as you can see, the little warning light went off. And then you can just push the clutch in and fire the car up like normal.
Bye, thanks for watching.